All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say, call hello, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Bashem, Rakah, Kodash. Send double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops. Great millstone. Send much peace, love, and salutations to you, Akim, out there pushing the word of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah. Sincerity and truth. Brother Ariala here in GMS Dallas. And I just want to talk, as you see, the title is Weirdo / Agent Behavior Must Be Called Out Early. You know, for you brothers that have gone to Apostle Tahar's page and watched the upload that he had recently posted, it's of the former head of GMS Columbus, who is bugged out, you know what I mean, all over the place, pretty much, left the faith or whatever. Brothers was talking about this was a guy that was always on the fringe, really. And that's why I said weirdo / agent behavior must be called out early. It's funny because we had a guy that was in GMS Dallas that had a very similar spirit as this guy. And which led to him pretty much being ousted from the camp. Because we don't hear if you're insubordinate, you want to do your own thing, kind of you kind of on the outskirts. You have up and down behavior that's kind of like quirky and weird. We don't really deal with that shit. Guys that really don't check in. Never. It's hard to get in touch with or to communicate back and forth. And when you do communicate back and forth with the guys, it's like, this is like a weird spirit. And that's kind of how this guy was. I can't remember his name. If somebody can remember his name, you can post it on the comment board. But he was around. He's been around for quite some time. But kind of, he had a spirit on him that brothers was kind of like, yeah. But, Jake have their different idiosyncrasies, and we ain't doing that bullshit no more, bro. If you don't want to check in, if you don't want to get in order, you out. You ain't a part of Great Millstone. You know what I mean? And all the rest of these guys that on the fringe, but they want to call themselves GMS. You see, back in the day, we used to kind of let that shit slide. We don't let that shit slide no more. There's too much agent activity going on, bro. If you don't want to check in with the regional head camp and you don't want to get in order, you can get the fuck out of here. You see, because this is what happens. These guys, they stick around. You let them, the spirit, no, fuck that shit. You're a weirdo. You're a goddamn weirdo. And now you got these other damn demons and heathens using this guy's videos that he was in GMS. He's got the history of the man. Shut the fuck up. This dude was always kind of on the fringe. He was out of, not really in order. And a lot of this stuff has to be clamped down even more. People that want to say, double honors to the apostles. But then, you don't want to check in. Getting a hold of you is off. You ain't a part of Great Millstone, man. Proverbs 14 and 15, it says, the simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well into his going. And so, brothers, you got to be prudent. You got to be prudent. We have to be prudent, even more prudent with the times that we're dealing with, man. The scriptures talk about being circumspect. And we're dealing with issues like this. This is why we there's no new members. That's why it's hard to get into Great Millstone, so-called get into Great Millstone. Now, that's why we tell brothers, don't be doing all that Hebrew hanging out on social media. all keying with people on Twitter and Instagram or TikTok. Oh yeah, he a brother, man, because he watched the videos and he said, yeah, how about you? He ain't no brother, man. You don't know who the hell that is. You know? We don't know any of these guys. And I'm looking at the comment board, you know, GMS Chicago owner live says Khan, he didn't really deal with the region and our attempts to build. Very seclusive. These guys, these weirdo guys that are like that, you can get the fuck out of here and take GMS off your name. Get out of here. That's that weirdo agent behavior. You know, so down in your grandma's basement with the gun in your mouth, playing Russian roulette and shit, being over damn weirdo. And these guys swear that they know so much about GMS. This dude don't know shit about GMS. He just said Yahweh Shem Yahushua and went out there and preached and watched the videos. He didn't really deal with Akion. He don't know shit about Great Millstone, but he'll go on this tour with and do these podcasts with people and say, I was on the inside, I was the head of a camp. That's why nowadays weirdo agent behavior has to be called out quickly. Very quickly. Brother said he never came to check in all the region. Once he was gone, the new heads came through and built. See? And there's a reason why the spirit wasn't on him, man. Because you know if you get around brothers, your spirit is going to get checked out. The scopeo is going to be on you, man. The scopeo is going to be on you. And this dude don't want to be the scopeo on him because he's going to be revealed. Just like he had said in his video. I didn't believe for a long time. He's a damn weirdo. Sirach 6 and 7 says, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first and be not hasty to credit him. Right? For some man is a friend for his own occasion and will not abide in the day of thy trouble. That's right. We see that all the time with these fringe outside, you know, off the cuff, quote unquote GMS members, but they really not even in the camp. They just claim Great Millstone, but it's our bad because we really should have checked this dude years ago when he wasn't checking in, and we're more adamant about that now. You know, through the spirit. A lot of this stuff it has to be nipped in the bud, so to speak, early, man. Right? It has to be nipped in the bud early. You gotta call this stuff out. You know. Jude chapter 1, verse 3 says, beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that you should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. For there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of Yahweh Shem Yahushua into lasciviousness, and denying the only Lord and our Lord Yahweh HaMashiach. You see, a lot of these guys, they sneak in, they claim double honors. And some of them don't even really say double honors because that puts a bad taste in their mouth. You got guys like that, man. You got to call it out, man. I mean, I don't need to check in. I don't do no checking in. You know, I don't bow to man. Well, take your ass somewhere else, man. Take your weirdo ass somewhere else, man. You know, because this dude always had a spirit that was iffy. To be straight up, this dude always had a spirit that was like, brothers was always kind of like, but no more letting that BS slide, man. Because it turns out the spirit is right about the guy. And as you can see in the chat, the brother out there in Chicago, who they're underneath in that region, They should be reporting in. The heads of the camps should be reporting into Chicago. Okay. What's up with this guy? What's going on? What's up with the camp? Who are you, nigga? But these guys don't want to report in because they don't want the Scopeo to be put on them, man. You know? But that's why that weirdo behavior like that, it has to be called out early. You know, I'm not gonna spend a whole bunch of time on this, man. I saw the video, you know, Yashwamba made a comment on it, and I was like, I completely agree. I completely agree. All right. Galatians chapter 2, verse 4 says, and that because of false brethren unawares brought in, who came in privily to spy out our liberty, which we have in Hamashiach Yahushua, that they might bring us into bondage. So you're going to have false brethren come around. You're going to have agent behavior happen. It's in the scripture. It happened in the old school. It happened in the ancient churches. You don't think it's going to happen today? Absolutely. But that's why, you know, through the Spirit, man, for the most part, you get vetted out of this thing in one way or another, whether it be the diligence that it takes to even come around us and come up in the ranks, so to speak, whether it be being in order and having to report in or whatever. You get eventually you'll get vetted out if your mind is not for this. If the Spirit is not with you, you get vetted out in this thing real quick, right? Or it might take a little time, but eventually it'll come through. Okay. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 15, it says, and by him, therefore, let us offer the sacrifice of praise to the Most High continually, that is the fruit of our lips, giving thanks to his name. Okay. But to do good and to communicate, forget not, for which such sacrifices the Most High is well pleased. Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch over your souls as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you. So I bet you, you know, trying to get in touch with this guy, trying to see what's going on, trying to check out this guy's spirit was a hindrance. You know, it was an annoyance. And when you got a guy that's like that, you got to press on his ass, man. Press his ass. And really, I'm talking to the regional heads and the heads of camps, man. You got weirdo guys that's on the fringe. Press their ass and see what's up with them, man. And then if they want to get down with the order that's set up, get them. We don't need no new friends over here. We're not here to be your buddy, man. We got a job to do. If you don't want to check in and get locked in with the body, you go do your own thing, man. More chicken for me. More lamb chop for me. Take your weird ass somewhere else with that bullshit. GOCC, I'm pretty sure they have the open arms for your ass. Okay? Playing games with these people, man. See this stuff and it irritates the mess out of me. You know, irritates me, man. Salvation of the elect, Shalom. 2 Corinthians 11 and 13 in AMP, it says, and for such men are counterfeit apostles, deceitful workers, masquerading as apostles of Yahushua. See that? All right, so the guy goes out there, you know, double honors to the elders or whatever. I never watch his videos, really. The only time I've seen his videos is when Vocab Malone or other people put up clips. Okay. But masquerading as a man of the Lord. And he said it in his video. Basically, he was saying he was faking for years. Really, the whole time. Yeah, you know, Esau gonna go down, man. Jake get this guy benefit of the devil. Oh, speckled bird. You're a weirdo. You know? You're a weirdo. First John 4:1 says, "Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they be of the whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets are gone out into the world." Yep, and that's a part of the game. You're gonna have people that creep in. You're gonna have spies. You're gonna have agents. You're gonna have weirdos. Well, brothers, you got to call it out, man. Truth Speak TV. That's why y'all gonna be infiltrated more than any camp. This is straight up white boy. All he gotta do is rap a couple rap lyrics and twist his hat to the side. I know you gonna block me. LOL. Get your goofy ass up. Get your goofy ass up, nigga. Nigga, Jay Goofy. Loser. Salvation of the elect put 1 John 2. Yeah, I see that. Yeah. 1 John 2:19 in NLT. These people left our churches, but they never really belonged with us. Otherwise, they would have stayed with us. When they left, it proved that they did not belong with us. Beautiful scripture. Beautiful scripture, man. It's a part of the game. But you do your best to vet these weirdos out. You know, it says Jim SDC put, he's an agent calling himself a white black Hebrew. Yeah. All that weirdo stuff. I was a white black Hebrew Israelite cult leader. You're a damn agent. You're a damn agent, man. And so you got guys that don't check in, guys that don't come underneath any type of order. They want to be fringe on the outsides, kind of do their own thing. Get them up out of there. Get them up out of there, man. That's why we don't the whole affiliate camps. We don't do no. We're not affiliated with you. We don't know you. We don't know who you are. You're not a great millstone. Guys that want to come on the comment board, Shalawam, Malak, Akims, double honors. We don't know who the hell you are, man. Okay? We're in an age where everybody got a damn opinion. Like this loser, Truth Speaks TV. And I can't wait to all this social media crap when everybody's opinion is cut the fuck off. I can't wait. So everybody has to shut the hell up. Titus 1:10, for there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, whose mouths must be stopped, right? Who need to shut the hell up. And this is a guy that needed to be shut the hell up for years. Just talking. Running at the mouth. Being a parrot to the apostles. And a lot of guys that, they try to do it like the apostles. They watched old videos of the apostles back in the early 2000s when they was out on 34th, and it was that New York rough, rugged type talk, and they try to emulate it, and it comes off tacky as hell. It comes off extremely tacky. You ain't from New York. You in the South, you get punched in the mouth talking like that. That's a New York East Coast thing. But you watch the videos and you get influenced, and then and it's 2025 now too. Guys try to watch the old videos of the apostles from 30 years ago street speaking. That's how they talk to each other in New York, by the way. If you ain't never been. And then you take that East Coast style of vernacular talking and cursing, but you you down south trying to talk like that, you gonna get your ass shot. but it don't even come off authentic. It's weird, man. Weird ass motherfuckers. Brothers gotta vet these people, man. No more these fringe guys on the outskirts that don't check in. We don't know who the hell they are. They do weirdo stuff. These guys are not great millstone. They're just people claiming. They don't know what the hell is going on. They don't know the spirit of things. They don't know the brotherhood. They just copying what they see on YouTube. They're not unified in this thing. So whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake. A lot of these guys just need to be excommunicated, point blank, period. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Did we read this one already? Yeah, we read this one already. Yeah, yeah. Malak with the heavy K, crazy work kind. These guys, you gotta watch these guys. Yeah, it says around the 11:30 mark of his video, he says he's been a secret agnostic for a while and been teaching a while having doubts, which is surprising that bros that's in that camp didn't pick up on that. But that shows you when you're not around the guy, y'all just meet up for camp basically. You don't know this dude. You don't really have class together. These certain things need to be done within the camp to make sure that there's a cohesiveness, to make sure that you're on one accord. You got to move on one accord, man. All the camps. Let me look that up. One accord. You know, you gotta be on one accord, man. Philippians 2:1 says, if there be therefore any consolation, right, in Hamashiach Yahushua, if any comfort of, all right, brotherly love, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any bowels and mercies, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. All right, in order to do that, you got to work with brothers, man. Yeah, I don't know, Elder Yashwamba. Elder Yashwamba asked, are the bros who were with him still around? Never knew any of them. I didn't know. They dealt with Chicago, but that's a major problem by itself. And I sent you the link if you want to join in. You know, that's a major issue by itself, man. You got these random dudes that's claiming themselves to be great millstone, and we've been dealing with this over the last few years. A lot of people have been pretty much kicked out, but that's an issue. And now you have your enemies running around talking about this guy was a great millstone, like they're doing a whole docu series and shit. And then this guy go wind up doing some interview with the background all black, talking about yes, I was in Great Millstone from 2012 until 2021, and I can tell you. Meanwhile, no one knew this motherfucker. You know, he just posting videos, repeating things he heard. He's like, who is this guy? And bros will see the videos and kind of be like, I don't know about this guy. But no more letting that shit slide, bro. No more that goofy shit slide. Because the apostles, the bishops, Great Millstone is so big now. Dealing with all that, they just gonna preach the word. It's up to the head, the brothers, the elders, the heads to kind of deal more with certain goings ons. And it's simple to deal with too. Because I don't care about hurting your little feelings. You don't want to check in, you can get the fuck out of here. Leave. I don't give a shit. GMS Virgin Island Straightgate put Romans 16 and 17. It says, now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause division and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. Yeah, you see that weirdo behavior? You know, that weirdo, you know, quirky, say stuff that's kind of like, what? Behavior? You gotta call it out, man. Call it out. What's up with you, man? Why you say that? Why you don't check in? Who are you? You know? Beautiful. There we go. That's what I like to see. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrak. Thumb, Zaquanium, Iconium. We are still around. GMS Columbus, Ohio is our camp page. We report to Chicago and Cleveland. Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You know? Yeah. So bro should be checking in. Bro should be giving a report. You ain't gotta be all the time. But if you get contacted from the heads, the brothers that's in the heads of the region, you should be checking in. And then if you ain't checking in, that red flag is gonna get reported up. It'll come back around. You know. What do you say? I don't know what this means. Said Cain, Cadmus bears my testimony, or is a reflection I had or am. Maybe I should rather say have what's called preeminence of Yahushua. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You clean that up, make it more clear. Yeah, but yeah, man, I saw this video. I just wanted to speak on it real quick. That weirdo guys that's that's on the outside. Guys that never reports in. We don't really know who the hell they are. It's just got to be put out there more quickly. They ain't Great Millstone. We don't know who the guy is. They claim Great Millstone. No one really talks to the guy. No one knows who the hell who he is. He just says he's Great Millstone and Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay. Whoop-de-doo. But back in the day, I will say that got a lot of that stuff got basically looked over a little bit more. 10 plus years ago. You would see a guy, he claimed himself to be Great Millstone. They, seemed to be pretty diligent, teaching, really like consistent. And he was like, okay, the brother got some good videos, man. He's teaching out there, teaching the same doctrine. But now, we won't just do it like that. It's much more organized through the spirit. Fringe guys that are on the outskirts, claiming double honors, all that. If you ain't reporting in, you ain't Great Millstone, man. Point blank, period. So you got to call out that weirdo agent behavior early. Okay. So I just want to put that out there, man. I ain't gonna keep this too long, man. With that being said, man, I'm saying Kohala Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah Bashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutation to y'all. Came out to push the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Sincerely, truth, shalom.